Hey everybody, welcome back to Gem Mint Collectibles. I'm here with my first DC edition of every Omnibus and Absolute release so far. This time we're highlighting Green Lantern. So as you can see, I have a stack of 5 Omnibus right here. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 3 Absolute editions. So we'll take a look at what's collected and talk about the books. So, first book we're going to talk about is the Green Lantern Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1. So, Green Lantern did have 2 volumes of his first Silver Age comics, and DC re-released it with their new line of, their Gold and Silver Age, Bronze Age Omnibus. And this is kind of like collects 1.5 of that original volume. So those old volumes are done. This is volume 1, which contains his first appearance in Showcase 22, and then 23 and 24. Then his first solo series, issues 1 through 35. So I think the original Green Lantern Omnibus, volume 1, was like 1 through 30 or something like that. So this has, a couple more issues or whatever. But here's the front. I like that it matches all the other old school omnibus that DC is putting out. Here's the back. So, I've read a good chunk of his first Silver Age stuff. Here goes the all black book. His relationship with his sidekick, which is like an Oriental guy, and he calls him Pie Face. It's a little risque, I think, right? I mean, I don't know if that was racist or what. It's funny that he's vulnerable to the color yellow, which gets explored a little bit in the Geoff Johns books that we'll talk about. But for a Silver Age book, it wasn't really a hard read or anything. I enjoyed it. But you got to know what you're jumping into when it comes to Silver Age stuff, man. It's it's old school, bro. But I like old school stuff because I like to see where characters come from, where stuff started. I appreciate the old school stuff. Here goes some Sinestro as a Green Lantern. So everyone knows that Sinestro was, one of the best Green Lanterns. It's kind of like a Lucifer complex, right? He was like one of the best lanterns that went bad. And he embraces the color yellow, which represents fear. As we know, green is the power of willpower. So that's your first omnibus. They do have a volume 2 solicited, I think, to come out next year. So that's our first book. The second omnibus is part of a 3-volume set of Geoff Johns. But as you can see, I have the Brightest Day after Volume 2. So Geoff Johns' Green Lantern Omnibus is arguably one of the best DC runs out there. Alex Ross did some cover art here. But this is like DC's cosmic epic. And man, they do a good-ass job. So the thing with the Absolutes, Green Lantern Rebirth and Sinestro Corps, the Sinestro Corps War, is all material that's in the Geoff Johns Omnibus. So you're definitely double dipping. And I'm sorry, Blackest Night is also all in Volume 2. So the Absolutes are not necessary. I mean, I would recommend to get the Omnibus, or I don't know if you'd want to hunt down trade paperbacks. I'm not sure what the cheapest route would be. These end up popping up on in-stock trades for half off cover, so you might just want to keep an eye on them. But this is like, if you want the premium format, right? Because you're gonna get the bigger art in this book. Not really by that much, but you know, with shit. We'll highlight the absolutes after we talk about the omnibus, and we'll look at the artwork and stuff. Anyway, Volume 1 contains Green Lantern Rebirth 1 through 6, which is what this is. Green Lantern Corps Recharge 1 through 5, Green Lantern 1 through 25, Green Lantern Corps 14 through 18, Tales of Sinestro Corps, Superman Prime 1, Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Special 1, Green Lantern Secret Files 2005 number 1, and Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Secret Files number 1. That's the spine. That's the back. Here's the back of the actual book, the spine, and the front. So, this brings Hal Jordan back. So, prior to this, Hal Jordan was infested by the parasite Parallax. So, you know, I wasn't familiar where Green Lantern was before this run, but apparently he was bad, you know, comics. Here goes some cool stuff where he looks bad right there. Is it Parallax or Parallax? I don't remember. Something like that. Here goes some cool stuff. The only thing I don't like about the DC is the covers. They don't have the text. It's just the art, which is good and bad. I wish they would have included both at least. You know, the art really big, but also to see what the actual cover looked like. I want to see what his name is, man. I forget. Anyway. The art is great. The writing is great. Geoff Johns, one of the best comic book writers out there. He knows how to tell a story, man. So this sets up bringing him back. Here goes some stuff in Oa. And then we start expanding the Green Lantern universe a little bit with the what do you call it? The color spectrum of emotion, which introduces all the other lanterns, the red lanterns of rage. We'll get into it in volume 2. What else we got? What else is worth showing here? Here's some cool stuff. Highly recommend it. You go some Batman with the Green Lantern ring. Who's that? Ethan Van Sciver, dope artist. He does great stuff. So I think they start hinting about that color spectrum in this book. But I don't think that really comes to play until the next volume. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you do, because you have the Sinestro Corps, which is, like I said, the yellow. They have the power of fear, which is the yellow color. This looks like they start getting into, yeah, the lavender lanterns. Yeah, so it starts introducing it in this one. So Geoff Johns opened up and expanded this universe that there are multiple emotions with their own colors that have their own powers, right? So green is will, yellow is fear, red is rage, orange is greed, or is it gluttony or something like that? I forget what they all are off the top of my head. I read this last year. Well, this isn't really a recent reads, right? So this is just really telling you what's collected. So anyway, I guess I would only really recommend to get the absolutes if you're just a huge fan of the story and you really want the art in the most premium format that you can get, or if you're just a completionist like me and you have to have it all. So here's the slipcase for Green Lantern Rebirth, not to be confused with a new Rebirth title. This is not part of that. That's just what they titled when they brought him back. So the Absolute has a hardcover. It also has a dust jacket, which I'm not really a fan of the hardcover and the dust jacket. It's like, come on, man, how much stuff you got to peel away? But I guess you get good art. So, again, this is just 1 through 6. The same issues that are covered in that first volume. Here's that same panel we saw earlier with the Justice League. So that's that. Now, the Sinestro Corps War. I'm not 100% what's in what. So let me check something out real quick. I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. I didn't really want to skip ahead. All right, anyway. Volume 2, the Geoff Johns Green Lantern Omnibus covers Green Lantern 26 through 52, Final Crisis Rage of the Red Lanterns 1, and Blackest Night 0 through 8, which is what's collected in the Absolute Blackest Night. Now, when I was reading this book, when it got to Blackest Night 0, I put the omnibus down and I read it in the Absolute format. And I dropped it and I dinged the hell out of the corner and I was pissed. Anyway, here's the front of the actual book, the side, the back. So Blackest Night is dope, man. So that's when we're introduced to, is it the power of death? I mean, the black rings bring back dead heroes and villains like zombies. So it becomes like a zombie book. Here's a flashback to when he gets the ring. The paper stock feels a little bit different here. There's Green Lantern on Oa. So it does a lot of flashback. Rage of the Red Lantern, Part 1, shows the origin of the Red Lanterns. I forget dude's name. Becoming the Red Lantern. This is Sinestro in prison. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so they get into killing too, man. So the Green Lantern ring prevents killing, but I think it's is it because of the Red Lanterns that the Guardians of Oa, they enable killing. Shit gets crazy, man. Here we're introduced to those blue lanterns. Yeah, it's the power of hope. So look, he gets infused with will and hope. Pretty cool. It's cool stuff what they do with all the different color lanterns, man. I definitely enjoyed that. He goes to the beginning of the Black Lantern saga. So anyway, you get introduced to all those different lanterns and the Black Lanterns, and that's Blackest Night, right? The other thing is, I'm not 100% where the Sinestro War thing comes into play. Let me look at this real quick. Here goes the... I know this is part of that Geoff Johns run. I just want to see what's covered in here. Can't open it. Having technical difficulties. That's what I'm talking about with them dust jackets, man. Oh well. I don't want to waste time on camera with that. So, I've only read up to volume 2. I put it down, but from my understanding, the Brightest Day Omnibus comes after Blackest Night. This includes... What does it say? We'll have to see what it's good. I heard that this is not as good as the Geoff Johns volumes. So this collects the entire 25-issue saga. I guess it's just a 1 through 25 of Brightest Day. All black book like DC likes to do. Let's see what we got here. So I haven't read it, but from what I understand, White Lanterns come out of the aftermath, which I think most people are familiar with already. Looking for a cool panel. Looking if we see some white. Here goes some White Ring action. Some Martian Manhunter action. So anyway, I need to read this and then finish up the Geoff Johns run in volume 3. That's some cool White Lantern stuff. I guess we should take a look at the Blackest Night Absolute. So to me, the Rebirth, I don't know if that's worth it, but Blackest Night is worth it, man. So the art in this book is sick. Like I always say, you know, it's the premium format to get. In the front. It's your DC zombie book. Where did I dig it up? Right here. Now you can't really tell. But yeah, I mean, this is a dope absolute. This is one that you could read on your own. I mean, I guess you could read the other absolutes on their own too, but this is like a more of an epic. Rise from your grave. So cool stuff, man. Look at this shit. So some zombie stuff. This book was out of print, and then it popped up on in-stock trades again. But I'm pretty sure it's out of print again. Batman as a Black Lantern. I like there's a scene also where the Yellow Ring comes after Batman. I forget what happens. He gets rid of it. Because, I mean, it's fear, right? And that's what Batman's whole thing is, you know? He intimidates the villains with fear or the criminals with fear. I forget how he gets rid of it. He just doesn't accept it or whatever. Alright, anyway. The last volume of the Geoff Johns epic contains Green Lantern Volume 4, issues 53 through 67. Green Lantern, Larfleeze, which is the Orange Lantern. I think he's the only Orange Lantern. No, he has a squad. Christmas Special number 1, Green Lantern Corps 58 through 60, Lantern Emerald Warriors 8 through 10, Green Lantern Volume 5, 0 through 20, and Annual number 1. So I don't know what's going on in this volume. Gotta read it. So you got some aftermath of Blackest Night. Green Lantern pulling a White Lantern out like Arthur, Sword in the Stone. Oh, the main man, Lobo, coming through looking like Ghost Rider. So great artwork in these books, as you can see. Very modern. Damn. This is like a story that's it's like on an epic scale, you know. So it's one of those epics, cosmic, dope stuff, man. I gotta finish it up. Maybe I'll read this next because I just finished reading the Astonishing X-Men Omnibus. I need something to read. Maybe I'll finish this up. I don't know. We'll see. More zombies. So I don't know if this capitalized off the Walking Dead success or what, but it made for a good story. Well, for the parts that I've read so far. So that is it for. Oh, you know what? Pause. I forgot about one absolute. I don't know how I forgot about this one. So, this is the Green Arrow, Green Lantern absolute. Cool stuff right here, man. So, this is a really nice absolute also, man. It doesn't have a dust jacket. Very clean, simple art. This covers the Bronze Age stuff. Can't believe I almost forgot this one. So what do you got here? Green Lantern 76 through 87, 89, Flash 217 through 219 and 226, Green Lantern, Green Arrow 1 through 7, and that's it. Neil Adams art. I haven't read this stuff, man. I need to jump into it. I think this has some of the groundbreaking stuff, like the drug issue with dude on the cover shooting up. Let's see if I can find that. No. I don't know what the story's called. I can't believe I almost forgot this one, man. Anyway, this gets into your Bronze Age stuff. Anyway, all right. Cool. So, did I forget anything else? I don't think that's it. This Sinestro War thing is bothering the hell out of me, man. Can't believe I can't open it up. How are you supposed to read this? Really won't come out. Anyone else have this problem? All men go through it at some point in time. Oh well. I guess we're not taking a look at the Sinestro Corps War. Alright guys, whatever. That's going to conclude the Green Lantern, every omnibus and absolute released so far. The only thing I'm really aware of is the Silver Age Volume 2 that's coming out. But that's about it, man. I'm sure there's going to be some comments on this one. Let me know. Double check with me. Is Sinestro Corps War part of the Geoff Johns run? I'm pretty sure it is because this panel was like ripped right out of it. Thanks for joining, man. Check me next time. Peace.